Most retirees choose Costa Rica for safety and Mexico for the culture. But are they actually the best values in 2026? Between skyrocketing income requirements in Mexico and a surprise safety level 1 rating in a country that nobody expected, the retirement map has kind of shifted. Today I'm going to rank all 8 countries. By the end of this video, your retirement shortlist may look a little different. So let's get started. Number 8, Honduras. And this is how I'm going to rank them. Each country was ranked first on the U.S. Travel Advisory. And then, if they're at the same travel advisory, then I will look at cost and put those in order. You'll see what I mean. But let's get started. I'm Daniel. I was a former hospital CEO for 20 years, and now I've been slow traveling the world. And if you've been following the channel, the background may look a little different because I'm in Vietnam now. But more about that in upcoming videos. So number 8, Honduras. Honduras is a Central American nation known for the Bay Islands' world-class diving and coral reefs, alongside a mainland shaped by Mayan ruins and a largely agricultural economy. It's a country of striking natural beauty that has struggled with instability in recent decades. So Honduras is at a safety level 3. So before we get into the safety level 3s, here's a quick chart on the different safety levels. So as you can see, there's 4 levels, the U.S. Travel Advisory levels. There's 4 levels. Number 1, exercise normal precautions. It means it's the lowest level, pretty safe. Number 2, exercise increased cautions. So you need to be a little extra alert, and you will see level 2 a lot throughout the world. Now you start getting into the level 3, reconsider travel. This is where risks are probably starting to become much more real. And then level 4 is do not travel. Okay, so those are the 4 levels. So again, Honduras is safety level 3, where you want to reconsider travel because of violent and organized crime, and it's kind of throughout the nation. The cost index is 69.6, and what this number means is that this is 69.6 based on an average world cost of products at 100. So it's basically 69.6% of the average cost in the world. And compared to the US ranks about 120 to 130. So you could probably take an extra 20% off of this, and if you're comparing it to the US. So it may be around 55% of the US cost. So I hope that makes sense. They do offer a pensionado visa for $1,500 a month. There's no Joint Commission accredited hospitals. So there is one hospital there that's pretty good, but pretty much the country is under-resourced. And then the only expat communities are in the Bay Island area. So this is why Honduras ranks at the lowest for safety and for cost. All right, number 7, Guatemala. So it's home to a rich indigenous Mayan heritage, which is still very visible in everything in Guatemala. I've been to Guatemala several times, and it is definitely throughout the culture. There's colonial architect in cities like Antigua, which is a very popular area for expats and for tourists. And its landscapes are actually pretty amazing with volcanoes and everything else. So how does Guatemala score? Guatemala as a country is safety level 3, reconsider travel. So Guatemala has the same issues as Honduras outside of touristy expat areas like Antigua, which is very, very safe. But if you go into Guatemala City, it is not that safe at all. And in fact, actually the locals in Antigua don't even want to go to Guatemala City because it is so dangerous. So if you take a look at this, like I said, level 3, there is a lot of gang activity outside of the tourist circuit. Their costs do come in lower than Honduras, which puts them at number 7. They do have a rentista visa. The pensionado, you need about $1,250 a month, plus $300 for dependents. There's no Joint Commission accredited hospitals, and what I have seen personally, I would not want to get care in Guatemala. I'm sure there may be good hospitals somewhere, but high quality healthcare is not something that Guatemala is known for. And they do have well-established expat communities in Antigua and Lake Atalan. And I have seen a lot of people, a lot of retirees that live there in Guatemala. So it's at number 7. It's at the same level as Honduras, but I would say overall Guatemala is probably a little safer, and certainly way safer in areas like Antigua and Lake Atitlan, and their cost comes in lower. All right, number 6. But before we get to number 6, if you're getting value, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, it always helps. And I've put some resources for us traveling retirees in the description below, so you could check those out if you want. All right, number 6, Nicaragua. So Nicaragua's the biggest country in Central America. Did you know that? And it's refined by colonial cities like Granada and Leon. So Nicaragua is at level 3 as well, but their cost is a lot lower. So 47.5, so it's 47.5% of the average cost in the world, which would actually put it at probably like 35% of the cost in the US, which is pretty amazing. They do offer a retirement visa, and as you can see, it's pretty low. That's the lowest income threshold of any retirement visa worldwide, I believe. They do have a hospital that's Joint Commission accredited. The expat community is smaller and it's rebuilding. So Nicaragua comes in number 6. Now let's move on to the next category. Number 5, Costa Rica. So interestingly, Costa Rica abolished their military in 1948, and they put the resources back into education and healthcare. So it's built a reputation of one of the most stable democracies in Latin America. And it's been super popular with travelers and retirees and expats for a long time. Probably one of the most popular areas in Central America, for sure. So they come in at a level 2 with some petty crime. Their cost index is pretty high though, 84.3. And all the comments and what I've read lately, it's getting even more expensive. And if you've experienced this in Costa Rica, put it in the comments. I'm actually curious how much the prices have increased recently. They do have a pensionado visa. And one thing about the visas, this is just a kind of a general example of what the visas are. There's other types of visas. There's different income requirements. This is just kind of showing you that there is something available. The healthcare is really good. They have Joint Commission hospitals, and they have a huge expat community. But because of the costs, Costa Rica comes in number 5. All right, moving on. Number 4, Belize. Belize is the only English-speaking country in Central America. They have a mix of cultures, and it's the second largest barrier reef on the earth. And the question is, where is the largest? Let me know in the comments. Small population, laid back Caribbean character, and it kind of sets it apart from the Spanish-speaking neighbors. So Belize is level 2. Their costs come in a little bit lower than Costa Rica, according to the averages. They have a retirement visa. There's no Joint Commission accredited hospitals. And then there's a small, well-established expat community. So Belize is one step ahead of Costa Rica. Now it's getting interesting, right? All right, number 3, Panama. As you know, it's defined by the Panama Canal, and it has one of the most developed economies in Central America. And they have very different climates depending on where you are. As you can see, Panama comes in level 2. Their cost index is lower than Costa Rica and Belize, even though they're at the same safety level. They probably have one of the best pensionado visas available in the world. Their healthcare is very, very good. They have Joint Commission hospitals, English-speaking doctors. They're actually well known for their health care. And then their expat community is huge. It's very well established. And that is absolutely because of its proximity to the US, plus its ease of acquiring the pensionado visa. So Panama comes in number 3. All right, number 2, Mexico. Okay, before you say anything, technically Mexico is not part of Central America. It's North America. So I didn't want to say North and Central America because that would have caused confusion, thinking that maybe US and Canada are included in that as well. So Mexico is just a vast and culturally layered country. So many states, so many different types of cultures. It's one of the most visited nations in the world and home to one of the largest American populations living abroad. So why did Mexico come in number 2? So Mexico is at level 2 nationally, but it does have 6 states that are in level 4 that you definitely don't want to go to. And I don't think tourists and expats typically go to these areas anyway. The cost index is 77.7, so it comes in the cheapest of the level 2 countries. They have temporary and permanent residency visas, but recently the income requirements have dramatically went up. It's around $4,400 a month for temporary, and then it goes up to like $7,400 for permanent. Healthcare, it's a major medical tourism hub. So many people from the US and Canada go down there to get their care, and then they have a gigantic expat population in so many cities. So Mexico comes in number 2. So that leaves number 1, and you may agree or disagree with this one, but according to the rules that we've set, it's safety level and cost, and the only one that is set by safety level 1 is El Salvador. El Salvador used to be maybe the most dangerous country in the world, and now it's safety level 1, so it's the smallest and most densely populated country in Central America, with apparently a big surfing culture. I'm not a surfer. And it's gone through a dramatic transformation in the last few years. So the only one at level 1, normal precautions, and I'm not sure the number, but I think it was almost 900 days without a murder in El Salvador. Cost index is 68%, so probably about 55-60% of the US costs. They offer a pensionado visa at $1,224 a month, and you can renew it. There's no Joint Commission accredited hospitals, so healthcare may be an issue because it is relatively new to tourism now that the safety has changed, and the expat community is growing, and I know a lot more people are interested in going to El Salvador. So El Salvador is number 1. So that's worst to best. I'm curious what you think. And if you've enjoyed this content, make sure you subscribe and like. Thanks for watching.